I'm a little early today by 30 minutes. If you want to learn about getting everything you want out of life, listen to this live. I talk about manifestation every single week. It's changed my life in the way of me changing my thinking. So if you're interested in learning about that, let me know if I'm blurry or not. We know how the internet is down here. Then listen to this live. Seriously, I've literally changed all aspects of my life by learning how to utilize my mind properly. And right now, especially people that are from the United States, even around the world, people are looking at the presidency as the savior for us. And there's a lot of very questionable things that are happening. Thank you for saying that. There's a lot of questionable things that are happening in government right now, even though things look like they're really great, or some things look like they're not so great. The whole thing about life is gaining our own power, is taking on our own power and taking our power back. There's too many people that look at whoever is in the presidency or powers outside of yourself as someone who's going to save you. We are here to save ourselves. And for those of you that don't understand that, we're going to talk about why the power of the subconscious mind is so powerful in life. We have outsourced our power as human beings for way too long. And obviously that was on purpose. Obviously that was programmed in our minds to think that we are not powerful enough to steer our own ship. And that couldn't be further from the truth. So while everyone is, not everyone, but many people are looking to someone else besides themselves to have power, you couldn't be more disempowered as a human than to believe or think that someone else is going to save you based on their policies, based on their knowledge, their wisdom. Because ultimately, it's up to us to have the power, the knowledge, and the wisdom to have an amazing and powerful life, to get everything that you want. I'm reading from my favorite book. If you are new to manifestation, you want to be reading The Power of Your Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. This is my #1 book. This is one of the first books that I ever read about manifestation. It's our job to know how this whole realm works. Not for other people to teach us, but for us to do the work ourselves. So while I am here teaching, I'm giving messages to maybe empower other people to empower themselves. We live our life and create our lives based on the vibration that comes from us at all times. I used to be the resting bitch face person in high school, and when I didn't know these things. Like, my nephew's 20, going to be 21 years old, and this kid already knows all about the power of the subconscious mind. He knows about manifestation, and I wish that I knew these things when I was young. I wish that someone taught me these things when I was younger so that I could empower myself, so that I knew that I could have anything that I want because I'm thinking it. My nephew said to me the other day, the only option is success. Because he was asking me about something. He's like, how's this thing going? I was like, oh, I just haven't been getting around to it. He's like, no excuses, man. Success is the only option. So if we're helping to build a younger generation that knows and understands how to reprogram the subconscious mind to get all the things that they want, do you know how much we could change in the world? We have to stop believing in other people and start believing in ourselves. Power of the Subconscious Mind is going to be one of those books that is monumental in the shift of your mind. Because if you want the healthy relationship, you want the family, you want the wealth, you want the abundance, you want the happiness, you want the joy, you want these things, you want health, it starts with you. It starts with your mind. It doesn't start with the doctor telling you about a diagnosis. It starts with you understanding that I am in control of my health. When they talk about Jesus Christ, that he was an ascended being, I truly believe that, but I also believe he came here to teach people how to empower themselves, to do things with their mind. They say that he went off into the mountains of India for several years to go figure out how to meditate, gain more power, gain more knowledge. Do I believe that he was ascended more than the average human? Yes, I do. But do I also believe that this man went and figured it all out as well? Yes, I do. Which is why there's upside down crosses and they make fun of the crucifixion and all these other things. I believe that Jesus figured out how to do all this on earth, and he was teaching people how to do it, and they killed him for it. Just like today. Just like you're a person that might be a truth teller that's revealing certain things about earth, about yourself. that they put you in the shadows called a shadow ban, that they take down your account, that they try to silence you. How can you be the Jesus Christ of modern day? By giving people amazing information, no matter how much that they crucify you. I don't believe in the religious figure, Jesus. I believe in the human being, the ascended master, Jesus Christ. Okay, we know how I do. I'm going to flip through the book. I already landed on this page, so I got to go with this. Okay, faith healing, what it means, and how blind faith works. Now, funny that we were talking about Jesus because we're talking about faith. What is popularly termed faith healing is not the faith mentioned in the Bible, which means knowledge of the interaction of the conscious and subconscious mind. A faith healer is one who heals without any real scientific understanding of the powers and forces involved. They say that science and spirituality are one and the same, because science tells you exactly how, down to the molecules, of how something works. Faith, spirituality, is just the faith or the belief that I'm healed, is the faith or the belief that I am abundant, is the faith or the belief that I have joy in my life. Faith healing. He may claim that he has a special gift of healing, and the sick person's blind belief in him or his powers may bring results. The voodoo doctor in South Africa and other parts of the world may heal by incantations or touching the so-called bones of saints, or anything else may heal a person which causes the patient to honestly believe in the method or process. Any method which causes you to move from fear and worry to faith and expectancy will heal. There are many persons, each of whom claims that because of his personal theory produces results, it is therefore the correct one. This, as already explained in this chapter, cannot be true. Again, when my little sister was sick, years ago now, 12 years ago, more than that, probably 13, 14 years ago, they didn't think that the hospital told us that she probably has 24 hours left to live. They didn't know what to do with her. She was in ICU for I don't know how many months, from December 18th until sometime in April. And this healer came in. Patty Angel was her name. This little tiny lady came into her room. She met her best friend's mother at a diner, and she had the bracelet on that said "Pray for Steph," I think. And so the lady asked her about it. She said, "I want to go see her at the hospital. Can I go see her?" So I'm in the hospital sitting there, and my little sister was in a coma at the time, so she was not consciously aware, but she was subconsciously aware of what was going on. Good morning. I'm reading from The Power of the Subconscious Mind by Joseph Murphy. I know that I'm on earlier than I usually am. So the little woman came in the room, and she said, "I want to pray over your sister." So me, her best friend Colleen, her boyfriend at the time, were there, and we were all holding hands with this woman. And I think it was late at night because it was dark, unless it was like really in the wintertime. We were holding hands, and she had us pray around her. Now again, this is having faith. This is seeing this woman, and she's a healer, having faith that this woman can do what she says that she can do. So the next morning, wake up, go back to the hospital, and my little sister she put this prayer card of Padre Pio. If anybody knows about Padre Pio, you know that he was a powerful healer as well. So she put a prayer card of Padre Pio under her pillow. Now Stephanie was in a coma, so she didn't know what was going on. The next day we come in her room, the prayer card is in her hand. So I asked all the nurses, "How did this prayer card get in her hand?" They're like, "I have no idea. We didn't even know where she got it. But it was just in her hand. When we came in, the prayer card was in her hand." We're like, how did this, nobody knew that the prayer card was under the pillow. How did it get in her hand? And after those days, she started to get better, and her health just started to turn around very slowly, but it started to turn around. Now this is at the point where her whole body was blown up like a balloon because there was some blockages somewhere in her neck, and she wasn't able to get rid of fluid. So there was all kind of things going on. But after Patty Angel left, she started to make a miraculous recovery. Now, when we talk about prayer, all these things, it is a directed energy towards something. So when we have directed energy towards something, things can start to shift and change because energetically we're changing that energy. We're just having the belief everything is well, everything is okay. She's perfectly healthy. We see her perfectly healthy. That is what manifestation is. So you call it faithful healing, you call it prayer, you call it manifestation, you call it energy work, you call it science, whatever you want to call it. There is a manipulation of energy happening that brings the things towards us that we believe to be true. And that is the same exact thing that happens every single moment of our lives. Yes, you can attract a car accident to you. Yes, you can attract horrible things to you. Yes, you can attract someone leaving you. Yes, you can attract someone cheating on you. Yes, you can attract anything. You can attract having your dream house, your dream relationship. Or you can sabotage and then say, see, I knew this was going to happen. You knew this was going to happen. Feeling it. Feeling is the secret to manifestation, like Neville Goddard always talks about. Feeling is the secret. So if you feel that someone's going to do something wrong to you, you feel like you're going to get in a fight today, you feel like you're going to have a shitty day, you're going to, because energetically everything is being manipulated around you in your favor based on what you desire. Desire meaning what you feel to be true. I feel like this is going to be a horrible day. Oh my God, work is going to be awful today. I hate my job. You're feeling that desire to bring to you all the things that you want, even though you don't want them. It's actually the opposite. Are we following? Are we able to ask questions or comment? Because I don't see anybody saying anything, and I don't know if it's because I'm just talking and you're listening. Or if you can't hear me. Can you guys hear me and see me clearly? Let me know. There's a lot of ants around here. I don't like it. But I'll leave them alone. This is their house, not mine. Yes, guys, you can hear me and see me. Yes or no? Let me know. Any method which causes you to move from fear and worry to faith and expectancy will heal. I think I just read that. To illustrate how blind faith works. No, I'm going to go to a different page. Yes? Okay. I'm just making sure. Okay? Okay. I'm going to give you an example. Yes, 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 yes. Boy of 16 years turns failure into success. A young boy who was attending high school said to me, I'm getting very poor grades. I am getting very poor grades. Okay, good. Thank you, guys. I am, the I am are two of the most powerful words for what follows them is what you become. Oh my God, I'm so stupid. Oh my God, I'm so broke. We don't even realize the things that we say. We're casting spells on ourselves every single time we have a thought. So let's be conscious of our thoughts so that we can create the world that we want. I'll give you an example before I read the story. I was on a dancer's salary for most of my life because I manifested that. I didn't feel that I was worthy of making more money. I thought that I had to work hard in order to have any money. I thought that I had to be in pain all the time, that being in pain equaled small amounts of money. So as a dancer most of my life, that's what I manifested, because I constantly heard my parents fighting about money all the time. I don't have it, ask your father. I have to pay all these bills, go ask him for money. No, go ask your mother. It was always lack, 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 lack. So you have the subconscious programming that money is hard to make, that you're not good enough to make enough money, that money is just not something that is easy to attain. Thank you for recommending the book, The Map of Consciousness. I love it. Glad that you're reading it. So having this lack mindset. And then I remember, and I tell this story all the time, I was driving on PCH going to do makeup for Christine. And I was listening to Jake Ducey, and it was Bob Proctor's affirmation of whatever it was. And then I would say that overabundance of money flows freely to me through my talents on a daily basis. So I would repeat that affirmation, or I'd be listening to affirmation tapes about wealth and abundance. And then I manifested these other jobs that started to pay me more money. And I started to just manifest traveling. Then I started to manifest this and this and this. And I was like, oh, wow, I am that powerful. I'm going to continue to do this. Even though it's hard work, because things don't always show up for you as fast as you would like them to with manifestation. So you're like, this doesn't work. This is so stupid. I'm impatient. And then you continue to manifest more lack, right? But for me, I struggled a lot with manifestation because I really, truly didn't understand it. I had a lot of fights with myself that were really like dark. And I got like dark about this manifesting thing, and it was really weird because I was obsessed with it. I was obsessed with manifestation. And I didn't understand why I couldn't figure this out. And it took me a really long time to do it, but now that I know how to do it, now I teach it. The lighting is getting on my nerves, so I'm just going to shift and move this way. To move my stuff. When you've been on camera your whole life, you kind of know how to find your light. So I'm finding it right now. I don't like where it is. Oops. Don't want to kill the plants. Okay. That's how vain I am. But anyway. So I began to manifest my entire life. I would not take no for an answer. If I didn't see something show up in my reality the way that I wanted it to, then I would go back into my mind and see things differently. It's called revision with Neville Goddard. Okay? So, that's what I began to do. And before I knew it, I started attracting and making a lot of money, more money than I ever made in my life. Yes, I am. In my happy place. And that's how now I just travel all the time. I can leave whenever I want to leave because why? I created that lifestyle in my mind. I want everyone to understand like how powerful you actually are, and that we can't continue to give our power away to anyone in politics, to anyone outside of ourselves, a doctor, a lawyer, a parent, a friend. You have the treasure house within you to tap into every single day whenever you want to. And it's so important to understand that. I'm watching all the little ants run around on the table. You can't say, I want that. Want is coming from lack. Want is coming from lack. I had a dream last night. I was recommending X39 to someone. There's your first step in some serious wealth right there. And that little patch, the X39, is all the wealth you could ever need because it is giving people their life back. I had, 3-4 people just last week. They're like, this changed my life in such a short amount of time. I'm like, I know. So then it's able to create wealth from things like that because you're literally changing someone's life for a very small amount of money. And so I attracted the patches into my life. That type of wealth, change, health, also changed my life. So we can't say, I want that. You have to step into action to get the life that you want, the love that you want, the happiness that you want, the joy that you want. You have to step into that. BJ, I love it that you feel awesome. You have to step into your power. And that's why I do these lives, to help people step into their power. Okay, so a young boy who was attending high school said to me, I'm getting very poor grades. My memory is failing. I do not know what is the matter. I discovered that the only thing wrong with this boy was his attitude, which was one of indifference and resentment towards some of his teachers and fellow students. I taught him how to use his subconscious mind and how to succeed in his studies. He began to affirm certain truths several times a day, particularly at night prior to sleep, and also in the morning after awakening. These are the best times to impregnate the subconscious mind, is what we always talk about. He affirmed as follows: I realize that my subconscious mind is a storehouse of memory. It retains everything I read and hear from my teachers. I have a perfect memory, and the infinite intelligence in my subconscious mind constantly reveals to me everything I need to know at all my examinations, whether written or oral. I radiate love and goodwill to all my teachers and fellow students. I sincerely wish for them success and all good things. This young man is now enjoying a greater freedom than he has ever known. He is now receiving all A's. He constantly imagines the teachers and his mother congratulating him on his success in his studies. Neville talks about that all of the time, is imagining someone telling you what you want to hear. Oh my God, I'm so happy for you that you got married and you met the person of your dreams. That's amazing. It's like you calling your friend on the phone. Imagine your friend calls you on the phone and be like, oh my God, I can't believe you got your dream job. You've been talking about this for so long. And you repeat that over and over again in your mind, that scenario. You hearing someone saying these things to you. Congratulations on your new house. It's gonna be beautiful. I can't wait to see how you decorate it. Imagining as if, just like the kid in this story, he was saying his affirmations and he was hearing his mother telling him what a great job he did on his studies and his teachers. So what this looks like is taking 100% responsibility for yourself. I'm reading this book and I don't remember what it's called, but this guy is now like a billionaire. And he met this guy that was very wealthy, and he wanted to do a mentorship with him. And the guy asked him, are you 100% responsible for yourself? And he was like a kid, and he was just like, he was a teenager, maybe 20. He's like, I think so. He said, well, if you think so, then you're not. Are you 100% responsible for everything that happens in your life? And he said, well, no, I guess I'm not. And just hearing that powerful question, I want people to answer right now, yes or no. Are you 100% responsible for yourself? Now, before you answer yes or no, that question means everything that happens to you, are you 100% responsible for everything that goes on in your life that got you to where you are now? Because we're all adults in here. So no matter what your parents did to you, if you were abused or whatever, it is now your responsibility to fix it. That's the shitty and unfortunate truth. Because we can live in a state of victimhood for the rest of our lives and just say, oh, I was abused, I was bullied, I was this, I was that, and live from that state forever. But you guys are saying yes, which is amazing, and hopefully you are. But when I asked myself that question, there was some things in my life that I'm like, actually, no, I'm not. So that made me think like, okay, I need to take responsibility. So if, say someone is treating you like shit and you choose to stay in that relationship, it's not that person's responsibility to make you feel happy. If someone is not treating you well and you choose to stay, you're 100% responsible for yourself. So if you don't like something that's going on and you continue to be a part of it, that's your responsibility. It's not the person, oh, he's such an asshole, she's such a bitch, I hope that she changes. You are 100% responsible for everything that's happening in your life. So if you don't like something and you still continue to take it, it's your responsibility to make a change. So are you 100% responsible? 80-20, thank you for the honesty. Because at the end of the day, the majority of us are not 100% responsible. And if we want to have all the things that we want in life, we have to understand that we are 100% responsible for this shit to happen to us that we want to happen. If you are outsourcing your power to a doctor, you're not being 100% responsible for your life. If you are outsourcing your child's own health to a doctor, you're not being 100% responsible for your life or their life. There's people that will still push vaccinations and say, and look at you funny or fight with you or say people are going to die because of the things that you're saying, but have never done 1 ounce of research on what it is that they're injecting themselves and their children with. So there are people that are never going to be 100% responsible. But we have to be people that are 100% responsible if we want to create change in our lives, and especially in the lives of our children, who you are responsible for right now. Truth, yes, I was accountable even if it hurts. Yes, I am, even when things are not very nice. Working on it, yes. Thank you for your honesty, because literally, I read this last week and I was like, oh, I'm not 100% responsible for everything. If I choose to engage in certain scenarios and situations and I want to complain about them all the time, I'm not being 100% responsible, because just because the other person is doing things that I don't like, I'm choosing to engage. So that means that I'm not being 100% responsible. So once we become 100% responsible for everything in our life, we can then change and shift it all, because we know that we have the power. Because we understand that words cast spells. We understand that if I continue to say, he treats me like shit, I don't like the way that she does that, I think that she's going to cheat on me, you're always going to be in a state of victimhood, because you're outsourcing your power still to someone else. If you don't like it, you change it. There's a difference between being and doing. Sometimes you don't realize. Most times we don't realize until someone asks you the question, until someone prompts the question to you. Are you 100% responsible for yourself? I hate my job. A person that'll complain every day about their job. Are they being 100% responsible for themselves? No. They're complaining about their job and hoping that something's going to change. You are in a state of victimhood, and the only thing that the universe can give you is matching energy of that victimhood, which is more victimhood. If you hate your job every day and there's a coworker that treats you like shit and you don't do anything to change it, you're always going to be disempowered, you're always going to be the victim, and you're not 100% in power of your life or responsible in your life. Getting very sensitive to my words. Red flags. Lynn, can you explain that? What do you mean by that? So I can so we can chat about that. Okay. How she succeeded in getting what she wanted. There's a young lady who regularly comes to my lectures and classes. She had to change buses 3 times. It took her 1.5 hours each time to come to the lectures. In one lecture, I explained how a young man who needed a car in his work received one. She went home and experimented as outlined in my lecture. Here is her letter in part, narrating her application of my method and published by her permission. Dear Dr. Murphy, this is how I received my Cadillac car. I wanted one to come to the lectures regularly. In my imagination, I went through the identical process I would go through if I were actually driving a car. I went to the showroom, and the salesman took me for a ride in one. I drove it for several blocks. I claimed the Cadillac car as my own over and over again. I kept the mental picture of getting into the car, driving it, feeling the upholstery, etc., consistently for over 2 weeks. Last week, I drove to your lecture in a Cadillac. My uncle in Inglewood passed away and left me his Cadillac and his entire estate. So remember when I said being very specific about what you ask for? I'm very much aware of my words before I release, so I see the negative words as red flags. Okay, got you. Love it. So with this story, she manifested a Cadillac, but she got it through the death of her uncle. So this is why I'm saying you have to be very specific about what you're manifesting. If you keep saying that I'm a multimillionaire, and you don't have a very specific way of how you're getting it, it could be that someone in your family dies and leaves you all the money. So she manifested a Cadillac. She didn't say how she was going to get it. She just saw herself in the car, and her uncle died and she got a Cadillac. These things can happen to us very, very quickly. The universe conspires. The energy of the world conspires to get us all the things that we resonate with on that very plane of existence. So if you keep saying like, oh, I'm married, I'm so happy I'm married, I'm so happy I'm married, I'm married, then you end up marrying somebody that's not really good for you. Because you weren't very specific. And then I just said, I'm happy that I'm married. But if you just affirm, I am married, you could manifest marrying a nightmare. So it's about being very specific. I am married to the absolute love of my life. He or she looks like this, has this kind of job. Like to the very, very T, you can manifest these things. Do we get it? Do we understand? I sat in the vibe of being the victim in my 40s. Now I get it's on me and me alone. Thanks for all you do. We all have been there. We all have been there. We all still go to that space sometimes. Because sometimes we feel that life victimizes us, and it doesn't. It's just the frequency that we're on. It's just the things that we're drawing to us. Because you can be alongside someone else that's having the same life as you, but it's your perspective, it's your thoughts in your mind. It's your subconscious programming. You can literally be having the same life as someone side by side. This person had programming of wealth and abundance and happiness in their life through their parents and their teachings. You could have grown up in a very broken home that was always, very unhappy and very sad. And you will have completely different experiences of life because you're drawing very, very different things from very, very different energetic planes. Angels need details. Exactly. It's like you get in a cab, you get a taxi cab, and you're like, I need to go to the store. He's like, okay, well, where is it? You're like, I don't know, just go drive somewhere. And the cab just keeps going places, and he's like, I don't know where you want me to go. You're like, I want to go to the store. And he's like, well, I don't know how you want me to get there. I don't know the address. That's the same thing you're doing with your subconscious mind. If you're saying that, I want to be married. And it's like, well, do you have any other details that you want to give me? I just want to be married. Okay, well, let's find the first idiot that is around to marry. And then you get married to this person, and he ends up being the worst person in the world. So when we're more specific, it's like giving a waiter an order for your food. If you're not given specific details, it's just going to throw shit on your plate and say, here you go, here's your dinner. You're like, this isn't what I wanted. You're like, well, you didn't tell me what you wanted. The same thing with the universe. Tell the universe, God, what it is that you want specifically. In past tense, as if it's already happened. Past or present tense. I'm so happy and grateful now that money flows to me in avalanches of abundance on a continuous basis through multiple sources. Bob Proctor. I kind of chopped it up a little bit. I am so happy and grateful now that money flows to me in avalanches of abundance through multiple sources on a continuous basis. That is in the present. You could do present or past. I'm so happy and grateful that I've been married for 5 years. I'm so happy and grateful that I had the most amazing life, farm. I always go back to a farm because that's, what I want. I'm so happy and grateful that I get to live in a tropical environment. What is it? There's no such thing as luck. There's no such thing as luck because everything is energy. Just like You ever see that there's a video about this woman that won like $112 million in the lottery, and she was like, yeah, I literally practiced it every night in my head that I was going to win the lottery. I saw myself holding the check. I knew how much I was going to get. Like I've been manifesting this. She wasn't lucky that she got it. She drew that energetically to herself. So there isn't luck. We create our own luck. That's the magic, is that we get to create that. We get to create all the amazing things that are happening to us. So I hope that today was helpful. I need to get in the sun because I'm still looking a little white. But you can have the life that you want. There's no reason why you can't have the life that you want unless you tell yourself all the time, I'm unlucky, I'm so sick, I'm this, I'm that. You change your thoughts, you change your life. Energy has to shift with you. That's it. There isn't anything else. This isn't like some secret, although it's called The Secret for a reason, because people don't know these things. We get to mold and manipulate reality. And the sooner that we understand that, the sooner that we can make changes, and the sooner that we can have the life that we want. So I intended this was very helpful. I love you all, and I'll see you on Monday for Manifesting Monday. If you have questions, put them in the comment section after I repost this, and I will see you guys in a few days. Adios.